wouldn't happen to be someone that in the future people call the first wizard, would you?
No. And if you're talking about, and he like shuts his mouth and he goes,
Jubilex.
Yeah, if you're talking about whoever we're talking about, no, I can make you certain that I'm not that person. He's probably still very, and he like frustratingly closes his mouth.
One of the dimensions that I have regular access to has a soul in it that apparently is his. And
Well,
so
well, it's sort. Look, I'd love to give you all the answers. I can't.
Jubilex warned us to stay out of the Outlands. Can you tell us anything about the Outlands?
Can't tell us anything.
And he
maybe
goes,
you can.
look, you can imagine how frustrating this is for me.
Can you speak in a cipher?
No, I've tried. I went insane at one point during my internship here trying to figure out exactly how I could break this thing. But I've lived here for...
It must be a version of intent. If you intend to share the knowledge, you're...
Trust me, I've tried everything.
Oh, okay.
It's not that simple. I've even tried. And he points to all the books and he's like, I've got all the knowledge I could possibly want. I've looked for every possible solution. It's funny.
None. You have all the knowledge, but you don't have the knowledge.
I have the knowledge, but not the tools to wield it. Yeah, it's kind of the whole, horrible hubris sort of thing.
And you are unable to tell us the
here?
Most of it, yeah. When you're stuck here for... Yes, I have.
That's
I find
impressive.
It's surprising too because the gods are not known for their foolproof contracts. Usually they're just filled with loopholes.
The gods are much more on... And he goes, they're on point.
You know,
especially if you piss EO off. Praise EO.
EO. Have we heard of this god EO?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Because the Illuminators of Grithar is a saint of EO.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so they actually worship EO.
Right,
they worship Grithar, but yeah.
Interesting.
I had forgotten that part of the story.
Yeah.
Are you able to tell us what the language of the book is in?
Oh, you'll never understand it. It's in elsewhere.
Why are you able to share that knowledge, but not other?
I don't think elsewhere is an actual language.
Okay, it's completely random, isn't it? Which further frustrates you?
A little bit. I mean, I could try to explain it to you. Like, for example, I could tell you that it depends on the... You see?
It seems odd that the books are in all kinds of different languages, but happen to be none of the languages that we happen to know.
Yeah, well, that's... And he, puts his head in his hands and he goes...
I love how frustrating this is for you.
Oh, look, you can't read them because they're all written under very different precepts by very different beings.
Sure. Is there a particular reason why I can't climb up these books to be closer to you?
I would really prefer that you didn't.
All right. Because
he just hates the smell of human.
Ooh.
Maybe he's embarrassed about it.
Because as a short person, I hate talking to tall people because I always get this crick in my neck when the conversations go too long. It'd be really nice if I could get closer. Hey, what if I jump up and just float in the air in front of you? Is that
No. Look, I'll come down to you.
Wait, you can?
Sure. And he stands up on this long leg, and you can see that this guy is hugely tall. He's about maybe 12 to 13 feet tall.
Oh, so he's bigger than Big Jovan.
Yes.
Usually.
Yeah.
All right.
He's a huge guy, but he's not huge because he's big. He's just gangly.
Sure.
So he almost walks down the thing like a spider, and you can see that he's wrapped in this tattered remains of this golden white cloak, just ripped and torn around him. And you can see that it's got a variety of feathers sewn into it as well, as if at one time or another it was a heavy piece of finery, and then over the years he just had to constantly refashion it into new clothing because it started to degrade. So he moves down the...
So he looks pretty nice, is what you're saying.
Yeah, he seems pretty nice. His face is human.
No. He's doing really well clothing-wise.
Yeah, for what he had. His face...
From my perspective,
yeah,
it looks real nice. He's taking advantage of what he has.
Exactly, yeah. Your hands are pleased. So his face is human and looks like the face of a grizzled old man, and it's wrinkled. And he has kind of a little elongated neck. And he walks down, and he gets to the bottom step, and he bends over to look at you.
Does he look like he could use the help of a wizard who's a master of cloths?
I don't know how to make cloths together, though.
Ironically enough, Merek has never learned bending.
Yeah, I kind of want to now, but it would mean having to give up another spell.
You're like that air mage who only knew stone spells.
So So he leans over you again and he goes, hold on. And he like moves away from the three of you and sits down and crosses his legs like this. And he spreads his arms out and goes, there, now you shouldn't have to crick your neck so much.
Oh, much better.
Now, I'd imagine you'd like to get back home to my rad.
Yes,
Sure,
please.
If that's where we're from.
Yeah, Lear. So
I'm anxious to retrieve Netro's greatsword.
Oh, yeah. It was very interesting. Your apprentice immediately was able to pinpoint our time and location by my comrade's holy symbol.
Oh, yeah, well, that's because...
Apparently,
I
Netro is
understand.
only relevant in a very small, narrow band of time.
And he shakes his head, yes. Yeah,
I will
sorry.
change this.
Best of luck with that. Like I said, things can shift around, so maybe, you know...
Can you tell us if Netro is just the name used by a deity for a very short period of time and is actually someone else?
And he, like, turns his head to the side and he goes, signs point to no.
I need to know if you can tell me this. The demon trapped in my wardrobe. Am I successful in...
And he, like, raises his
holding him
eyebrow
back?
and he goes, I don't know what you're talking about.
Does the demon Ithilstep return?
And he, like, cricks his head back.
Can
and
you tell me, is it worth fighting?
Man, I have no idea. Like I said, I can't tell the future. I can just predict.
But you apparently know a lot about
But he's
the
from the
past,
future.
as it were.
Oh, right. Oh, right. Well, I guess that would be confusing to you folks. The point is, I really don't know. Sorry.
So you're kind of in the same linear time frame as us. You just have a long memory.
Well, you got a sharp mind for a 14-year-old.
Oh, Dad passed on a lot of, like, you know, when you're doing nothing but sitting in an alley waiting for someone to drop off a few coppers, you have a lot of conversations.
Yeah, I bet he did.
I understand.
I know a
Okay.
surprising amount of high-level calculus, too.
So it's not that Netro has a short band of time in all history. It's Netro has a short band of time from this point back.
And he goes,
Oh, is he relatively new?
and he looks at you
I'm the
and
first
he,
person
and he
to bring him
goes,
to
you know,
leave.
I'm surprised that much stuff stuck in his head after that. And he like grunts his face together. Anyway, your father is a well-known figure around the denizens of the multiverse. He's not too loved either. So if I were you, I wouldn't go spreading that name around.
He never told me anything about his travels before. In fact, I've only known him as a poor beggar.
Yeah, well, that would make sense.
Was he hiding out?
Is he
I would
still
love to
alive?
explain it, but
Wait
it
a
definitely wasn't
second.
by choice.
Wait
Is he
a
still
second.
around somewhere?
Is this Rick and Morty, where Girin is Rick, he's Morty, the begging bowl is
Oh my
the
God.
portal gun,
No.
and this is Rick disappears?
That'd be ridiculous, Peter. No,
Alright.
certainly not intentional.
That
And
would
he
be
goes,
hilarious if that was like,
It's-
this is
It's
all Rick
similar,
and Morty's
but it's a
story.
little different where Rick never took Morty on adventures.
And he scratches his head a bit and like, you know, scratches it, and then eventually at that point the blonde-haired child returns into the room. And he looks up and the old guy turns over and goes, "Oh, hello." And his like mouth clamps up and he goes, and
You can't even talk to each other like normally?
not
Or is
with-
it just because we're
Not with
here?
us here, yeah.
that would be it. And the kid goes, he's got the begging bowl. And the old man raises his eyes and goes, "Can I see it?"
Oh yeah, sure.
Is this
Looking
the
is
tool you
free.
need
Seeing
to
is
free yourself?
believing.
It's mostly just a curiosity. Do you mind?
No.
So he like takes it from you and like turns it around and he goes, "Man, the number of years this must have taken to craft. I can't believe you left it in your hands."
Did he make it himself?
Oh,
It's how we got here. It
Yes.
turns out I found a power source, and then these runestones were in the crypt where we found the book.
yeah. Well, the runestones make sense because and he just drops his head in frustration and goes, "Look, stop asking me questions, please."
How about instead of asking questions, you know that pamphlet?
Oh,
The
the
codex?
yeah.
Yeah. Are there others like it?
And, well, I mean,
It'd be really nice to have some more.
it'd be great if there was a catalog of every single symbol in existence, wouldn't it?
Yes.
I mean, wouldn't that be a wonderful thing that could exist, possibly?
Yes.
It may or may not.
It
I am
may-
certainly not giving you any information one way or the other.
It'd be, if there was such a catalog, I would keep it in a vast library somewhere with lots and lots of books.
In fact, you'd almost have to be an idiot to think that you couldn't find something like that in a vast library.
Indeed, I feel exactly that way.
And he rotates the bowl back and forth and goes, "It really doesn't matter. There's a lot of places you can't get to unless you know the specific code. Of course, you do have this, and he holds the bowl up. See, what you got here is basically a set of... And he puts a hand over his face, and he goes... And he looks like he's trying to, like, find an alternative word to say, and he's like, dimensional turnstile. You're not going to understand what that is.
Sure.
Dimensional,
So here, let me see
Door?
if I can't help. So I turn the book to the last page,
Uh-huh.
and I go, so I can't help but notice that these symbols that are along the edge of the begging bowl, and look at these symbols along the edge of this last page. They're very similar, at least in style and form,
Yeah.
but they're different.
Yeah.
So we did try a trick with it, and now we have this little dot in the middle of this page that
Yeah.
wasn't there before.
That's because whoever wrote this is very smart against intrusion.
Sure. And so my theory was that this bowl is both a key and a lock, and this book is sort of like a map.
I
And-
would suggest to you that it's definitely not a seal. And he looks like he's like a locks and bagels. It's definitely not a locks and bagels.
Sure. Oh, very good. So basically, our hope was that with these runestones and with enough codexes, we might be able to get back to where we want to go.
Oh, I can just send you back to where you want to go.
Oh, really?
Yes.
My friend's kind of on a timetable. I would like to wait long enough for everything to work itself out so we can show up as the heroes of the realm. But my friend seems to think that if we're gone for too long, some of his pals are going to be harmed.
Question. For how this world works, does time travel at the same speed?
and he
That's
looks
Myra.
and he looks at
Here-
you just like, give me a break. Like, please.
Can you send us back
and he goes-
before Urano was killed?
No, you can't go. Don't mess around with time travel. But here, let me just say it to you this way: you'll probably come back when you need to.
That's exactly what I like to hear. So we do have time to look for a possible catalog if it existed in a place that might be like a gigantic library.
Oh, you won't find it. You could search for eternity and not find it. Not without my help.
Hmm.
And you can't help us.
Oh, I absolutely can help you. I can send you home right now if I wanted to.
No. Can you help us find the catalog?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
And even if I could, I wouldn't give it to you three. That's like,
Was just
Don't you
begging
th-
for
Don't you
punishment.
think that the possessor of the bow should have the catalog?
no.
The two of them should.
In
Too
fact,
much
the exact
power.
opposite should be true.
Seems like they go together.
That's what the guy who wrote, and he points at the codex, that tried to get out of me. Didn't go very well for him. He almost didn't make it out alive.
Really? Oh, so you're not just a librarian. You're also kind of a assassin.
Oh, I'm not, but there are ways to stop people from screwing about in here. Although lately we've had trouble with an interloper. Oh, which brings me to my point.
Ooh, would it be those two guys and the like?
No, those are small time. Don't worry, we can take care of those guys. But there's another guy that crawled his way out of some elsewhere dimension recently. He wasn't pretty. He seemed pretty pissed. Don't know why. Anyway, he's been mucking about in here in the right ring section for quite a bit. And he looks down at the blonde-haired kid and he goes, "Did you see him anywhere?" And he goes, "Yeah, he's still trying to figure out what the discs are." And he goes, "He's never gonna get it."
Is he saying anything we can help you with? You know, we like to solve problems.
That was
We're-
my suggestion. Perhaps if you wanted to get back home, you could deal with this so-called interloper.
We're good at dealing with interlopers. Jovan is a hero who deals with
Wait,
interlopers.
This
all
is
the time.
Alloy?
Are you able to describe this angry man to us?
Svanus or Alloy?
And he looks at the kid, and the kid goes,
Let me
"Yeah,
guess.
he's like,
Bent over, really old.
oh no, he's
Oh,
a
okay.
younger guy.
All right.
He's got like black tousled hair, wearing a kind of like whitish jerkin. Likes to lick things. Kind of a weirdo.
You know,
I don't
licking things is not so bad.
remember...
Oh, wait. Was there? Remember? Didn't
Oh.
one of the paradigms was always licking things? Like not me, but like what was the paradigm with the weird like elongated?
Vergis.
Was it
Vergis.
Vergis?
That
'Cause
would be the
he's-
name of the paradigm. Had the weird elongated thing.
Yeah, but didn't he
that's
like?
the one I
Didn't you
was
describe him as like
referring to.
licking things as part of his
You
style?
may
Yeah,
remember
but
that.
he doesn't look like Vergis because Vergis is old. right?
Yeah,
Old
maybe
Verges
he's
is
young and
But
here.
what a-
Young Verges? Why would it be Young Verges? How could it be Young
Time goes
Verges?
different here, man.
Maybe in the past, young
I don't
Burgess
think
came
this is
here.
time travel.
And the kid like rolls his eyes a bit and goes,
Verges.
Look, don't try to understand. Just deal with the problem, okay?
All right, sure.
We deal with it ourselves.
Hey, look, if we
but the
need to go
guy's
to
really
Lear to
slippery.
do it,
All right,
let's go to Lear.
let's go. Let's go deal with it.
All right,
I can't wrap my
let's
head around this at all.
We love dealing with problems. Plus, if it'll earn us a way back home, we are all over that.
Excellent. And the old guy and the old man creature goes, great. You'll want to head back down the hallway you came and keep going right where you saw the fork.
Do you want us to kill him?
Deal with the interloper.
What does that mean?
If it means convincing him to come back here and go back to wherever you guys are from, I'm fine. I just want him out of this place.
Oh, so we would have to bring him here to you for you to send him back.
Oh yeah, you gotta be around me.
Okay.
Okay.
So the tearing apart wind won't deal with him?
No, not this far down. They can only get to the outer level.
Wait, so he's from Myrad and he's here, and we need to bring him to him.
He might be from Myrad. He might be from somewhere else.
And he's in the lower levels?
Down the right hallway.
Down the right hallway.
Yeah.
So the wind can't reach him.
No.
So
I say
one
we
more
get
thing-
some rest first.
Yeah, one more thing before we head off. Number one, or two more things. One more thing is that very often one of our primary ways of dealing with such problems is that my comrade Jovan here is very good at making things go away by like holding out his holy symbol and going, go away, and then they just like disappear. Sometimes my colleague Merek does something very similar. Basically, both of my colleagues are very good at making things just go away by like presenting themselves. So not in my skill set. However, here it seems like things are really weird, and I don't want to have some accidental like tearing of the weave or like ripping apart of reality.
I wouldn't worry about it. Unless you had anything that shifts dimensional space or time, you probably won't screw anything up too bad.
No wardrobe.
Also,
we look at Merek as like
And he goes, you don't have something like that, do you?
Oh, no.
Oh, well, if you do, and you're lying to me like an idiot, definitely don't cast it.
I mean, I wasn't planning on it.
Good.
I'm sure you were.
we always
the
say
re-
that, and then it's like,
The
oh, it's
results
time for the
could be
winner.
bad. The last guy who did something like that had the entire dimension turn inside out on him. And that might not be what you want.
Awesome. Everything in the wardrobe dumped out at once. Cats everywhere.
No, the demon is
The
free.
demon would be free.
Yeah.
But here, trapped forever in the library.
He's trapped.
He's already
forever
trapped in
where
the
he is.
wardrobe.
Are you guys saying that out loud?
If you want him to destroy,
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
And he
want him to
goes,
destroy
"Sure."
all knowledge.
Oh no! If you guys set a demon loose in here, I'll just send him back to Myrad out of spite.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Plus,
That
he'll probably
makes
go there
sense.
on his own volition.
Oh, he can just.
Well, yeah.
Pop out?
Demons can go through things.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, the only reason he can't is he's part of the wardrobe.
Ah,
He
okay.
is stitched into.
Right, because
a
he formed
fabric.
himself out of fabric. Right, when we were in the
Yeah,
wardrobe.
he's literally contained in the wardrobe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so our second point is, so before we got here, we were a little beat up. Do you think we could like have a long rest before we head off?
Oh, be my guest. I've got plenty of work to do.
Yeah, because we're kind of
Do you
like.
have any food?
Yeah.
I'm a little hungry.
Is there food here?
Yeah, I can get some food.
Are there beds?
And he looks at
Are
the
there
blonde
cots
haired
or
and he
something?
looks at the blonde haired kid and goes, "Take him down the hall." And the kid goes, "All right." And he
Nice.
yeah.
We should come back to this place.
Yeah, goes, "Come with me." And as you say that, he goes, "No, please don't come back."
Why not?
We need an extra dimensional resting
Alright.
hole.
Yeah, I like this.
Listen to me very carefully. You're not supposed to be here. The fact that you haven't been ripped to bits already or policed by me is on my own choice. If you keep coming back here and the higher ups find out, there's nothing I can do. So I suggest getting out of here as soon as possible.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
But we do
To
need
do
a long
that,
rest.
we need some rest.
Okay, fair, sure. Plenty. Don't worry about it. And the kid leaves you off down the hallway.
Cool. We follow.
So the blonde-haired kid turns around and looks at all three of you and goes, "I'm not sure if you're going to be able to deal with this guy. He's pretty tough."
We're
Jovan's
far
pretty
tough.
tough.
We're far tougher than we look.
I'm just saying, you might want to be careful, especially since you happen to follow such a weak...
Such a powerful deity. Thank you.
Yes, that's it. Have faith in him. Yeah, that's the best way. That's how clerics always work.
It has saved mine and my comrades' lives
Praise
on
that
many.
Well, yeah, I mean, when it comes to mortal affairs, of course you're going to be fine with a demi... And he keeps...
How dare you, sir?
And he goes, what do you mean? And he says, don't worry, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
Oh,
Oh, you're falling demigod.
Ooh, maybe Netro is like whoever the
That's
Illuminators follow. He's like a sub-level.
I mean, that means at some point I'll just like get promoted to Netro's boss.
And he
If all that.
the kid
You
frustratingly
go over his head.
And all
Well,
those
I
times
mean,
that Netro was
No,
mean to you, it's like,
at some point Netro will be like, you know what, you're powerful enough that you can serve the big guy.
So the kid frustratingly turns back to you and goes, "Man, you really don't know, do you? Oh, geez. All right.
I know all that Netro is deemed is necessary.
so at this point, let's clarify. I don't have a real knowledge of my life because I only remember myself living in Lear as an urchin. You had that whole missing time that you somehow ended up here. Do you remember
I have my
your life?
entire life as a barber, growing up
Yeah,
in a
you
small
remember growing up,
village.
following Netro,
Uh,
being the wise guy in the village.
Okay,
Yes.
so you actually are the only one of the three of us who actually remembers his life without missing parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys aren't analogs. I promise you that.
Okay. No, because the thing is that he
That
and I
last
both have,
time.
like, I don't know where I actually really come from,
Mhm.
and he has that missing block of time where he was like in the desert and then suddenly was here. So I couldn't remember if Jovan actually remembered his whole
I
life or if
remember.
he
I
also
always
had-
assumed that you were just a street orphan
I remember,
in Lear, and your parents had just been like, "Threw you
Yeah,
on the street."
so I don't know. See,
Yeah.
I personally don't know because I don't remember a time when I had real parents.
Yeah.
So,
So the kid frustratingly looks back at you and goes, "Oh, this is eating me up inside. It just
Well,
isn't fair.
tell me what you can.
I can't."
can you draw little chibi cartoons?
No. All right, here, come with me. And he leads you around a corner. And as you come around to the corner, you can see that even though this is a room made out of the same bookshelves crammed with everything you saw before, there are 3 beds which seem to be built out of like makeshift wooden plats, as if they were built pretty hastily. And then there's like comfortable like cots upon those beds with blankets. And then set over to one side is also a plate filled with like fruits and veggies and even a couple of like salted meats.
Oh, salted meats.
Yeah.
All right.
Put-
I'm all
he's
up
put
on
out-
that.
Nice.
I'm
put
all
out
up
for
on
you
the
guys.
salted meats.
Look, the imps did the best they could. Sure.
This is more than enough. Thank you kindly.
Yeah, we
Okay.
fall upon the food as if like we hadn't eaten in days.
Because we haven't.
Yes.
Get some rest. Also, you look, I'll be right back. And he like scurries off.
Nice.